All right, welcome back for another week of Trash Fish. We're gonna do just about the most cliched thing you can do in this medium, which is this guy's gonna talk to me about Star Wars video games while I sit here and just wait for Fallout for Half-Life 3 to drop.
Oh shit.
Video game conversation.
Yeah,
maybe something like that.
Weird. Yeah.
Yeah. This guy is just gonna. Knight's just gonna ramble for 40 minutes about Knights of the Old Republic, and I'm gonna curse Gabe Newell's name.
Well, no, we were. Shit, is that how we're starting this?
No, we can start it a different way if you want.
Oh no, hey. No,
all right.
Live.
Well,
we're going.
I mean, we're called Trash Fish. I don't think we have. There's a certain level of production quality and/or. I mean, we're not. If it's any news to anybody now that we're not writing this, we didn't just get out of the writer's room and.
Oh no.
Yeah. I mean, sorry, I didn't mean to give up the kayfabe now. Oh man, I mean, yep. Oh, let me.
K-Fed.
The K-Fed. Yeah. Don't give up the K-Fed.
My boy. Where's he at?
That is deep.
We were playing some Apex Legends the other day, me and K-Fed. Don't tell Brittany.
I don't even know. I don't think she's probably too concerned. Isn't she checked back into
I don't
sanitarium?
know. I have no idea.
Prettle sure they're not called that anymore. Yeah. Sorry, I guess it's not 1930.
Sanitarium.
Yeah. She's going to have
That's rough.
A lobotomy.
But yeah, we were chatting earlier about the state of video games, which everybody's always chatting about. I guess nothing too special, but Fortnite, these goddamn Fortnite kids, and their Apex Legends and their battle royales and just a bunch of repetitive bullshit. I haven't been playing really any games this year. I still read about. I think both of us still reading and watching a lot of videos. My dumbass is still waiting for the next big single player RPG, but they almost always fail to disappoint. Red Dead was probably the one game I can remember in the past couple years. Red Dead 2. Yeah. That didn't disappoint at all.
I mean, in 2019, I don't think anybody's thinking we're talking about the original Red Dead.
Yeah.
Or Red Dead Revolver.
Sure, yeah. But
finally got around to playing that Red Dead Revolver, and my God, man.
But I mean, I didn't want to buy it for a long time.
Right.
I gave in after a couple months, and I bought a PlayStation just to buy it.
Yeah.
Because, PC Master Race, a sad emoji.
Yeah.
For once in the past 15 years.
Yeah.
Usually I'm patient enough to wait for a port or spoiled enough to not have to play games that are console exclusives.
Right.
But I don't know where I was going with this. Yeah, waiting on some masterpiece of a single-player game.
Yeah.
That's probably not super likely.
No?
At least right now.
Well, I mean, I was thinking about it, and I think we've talked about it a little bit before, and I still can't remember the name of it, but as we were coming in to the studio, that, sort of Fallout meets
the Outer Worlds.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
That
in concept, it sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean,
I was a little disappointed with some of the. God, this is the nerdiest fucking show ever. A little disappointed with some of the gameplay footage. It kind of has that rage feel.
Oh, see, I guess I haven't seen gameplay footage.
And that's, I think at a certain point, maybe this is where this conversation goes. It's like the bar is so high after you've played so many first-person shooters or first-person RPGs.
Right.
That of course you're going to see the same. You're going to be annoyed with seeing patterns and repetition or whatever. Because there's only so much you can throw into a first-person experience to make it dynamic or unique. And I felt like it kind of looked like a Borderlands or Rage shooter game with some New Vegas RPG elements or even Mass Effect style decision trees.
Right.
I'm don't get me wrong, I'm still excited for it. The story and the comedy and the art direction of it looks awesome.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just so burnt out and fucking jaded with video games.
I mean, there's
at this point I'm playing 1 to 2 games a year, sometimes not for months.
Yeah.
You know, months go by and I'm not playing anything, and I see something about a game story, I see the cinematics, and I'm like, and then I see the gameplay, and I'm like, $60, like,
Yeah.
But it might be a good one, and I mean, it might be worth it for the story.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, I just don't know at this point, like, yeah, the way I watch, like, video game, like, reviews and shows and all kinds of stuff, you'd think I was playing all the time.
Yeah.
The last video game I bought was Arkham Knight for $8 at GameStop because I had not played it when it first came out. And I was like, oh, that sounds like
Which was like 6 years ago.
Yes, it looks like a bargain.
Yeah.
And it was cool. And I played it probably a third of the way through.
Yeah.
And then, like, all the mechanics just felt the same.
Right.
And there's just, like, a level of repetition. And whatever. I love me some Batman, but, like, I can only Batman for so long until I'm just like, okay, yep. Did that thing. Flew around the city.
Yeah.
Drove around in my Bat tank.
Right.
It's kind of like a Bat tank simulator. I'm definitely not the first person to say that on the internet, but it, like,
yeah.
I mean, all rumors.
I can only do so much of any of the same thing for so long in a video game. And maybe that's why I like, I like the open world where, one day I'm like finishing up the story and the shoot 'em up stuff, and the next day I'm just like, how can I break the physics in the dumbest fucking way?
Right. Well,
and that'll entertain me for the next 3 hours, and tomorrow it's another experiment. I don't know, just having something to like toy with and like test the limits of is fun for me.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. I mean, that definitely opens that community or that conversation about like the mod community, and that like doesn't happen on consoles,
right?
And it's just it's interesting to me that everybody's so enraged right now with the what a loot box shit, where it's like you buy the game, but then I mean, it's the EA model. I mean, EA is kind of
pay to play.
Like you basically like you get the game, but if you really want to play as like Luke or Vader,
right,
and you don't want to have to grind.
Yeah,
for like,
you gotta buy this in-game currency to like get weapons or levels up, or
when they should just be maybe to some degree incentivizing modders to like mod their games, because realistically, like what keeps a game like fun and playable is, I mean, that's why
it's the community.
That's why people are still playing Skyrim and or GTA 5, like. Yeah, almost 10 years after Skyrim.
It's all about user-made content.
Yeah.
But I mean, not to like totally defend EA or like big box, games.
Yeah.
Video games have been $60, $50 to $60 since the 1990s.
Yeah.
The price hasn't changed. Production costs have increased like insanely.
Tremendously, yeah.
Grand Theft Auto 5 was at one point the most costly like entertainment project of its time, or like in history.
Yeah.
It cost more than the Pirates of the Caribbean movies and all these huge CGI films and TV series.
Yeah.
This game cost, I don't know, like $600 million to produce.
Right.
Not including all the DLC, the free DLC, and all that stuff they produced afterward, but it still gets the same $60 price tag.
Right.
That, you'd pay for some very linear, like 6 hour long story game or Call of Duty or whatever. So I think what I'm getting at with this is the companies are just trying to make the rest of that production cost back. And I'm not totally justifying that, like how they do it.
Right.
But I get it. And it's a little greedy, but at the same time, it's like, dude, you could be paying a lot more for every single video game.
Yeah.
And no, I'm not going to buy the DLC. And no, I don't play the fucking EA games where you're paying $20 for 2 maps, but...
Right. Well, and I mean, honestly, it kind of goes back to, I think, last episode, too, where, the idea that we just want like so much of the same thing like over and over again, as opposed to like, and you know, like kind of applauding the fact that like Rockstar, I mean, they clearly like they fucking have a budget and they spend it when they make games, but like it took 10 goddamn years to put out Red Dead 2.
Right.
As opposed to like this weird cycle of like, you know, there's like a oh, all right, well, and he's back. Here we go. As opposed to, you know, like another Star Wars Battlefront game,
right?
Like, and you know, and I would not be against the idea. Like, I'm sure that they've figured out like market pricing. The sort of the median is like what people are willing to pay. Like people will pay $60. If you try to go any higher without making it some sort of like collector's thing or some like added, you know, I mean, every time I go in now and you like that Assassin's Creed, I'm a Greek, whatever.
Odyssey,
yeah.
Oh no! Every company does
there was like
the big box edition.
Yeah, it was like $120.
Statue and a map or something.
And I mean, whatever, that's cool. Like I like to collect shit too, but I would be probably like less alarmed with the money being spent by consumers if I knew that the money then was being used by these companies to like pay their employees better and like not treat them like shit. I mean, clearly, I don't have to. Right. Well, once again, I know the internet is aflame with all this too, and I fully support. I mean, it's crazy, like when you hear about like the way a lot of these like dev teams are like treated.
Oh yeah, working 7 days a week, 18 hours.
Yeah, you just like live, eat, shit, piss, everything,
right,
in the office, and then ultimately you're like taking home. I mean, really, like no more than, I don't know, like entry level, like sort of business guy,
right?
At the end of the year, you know, like, well, I make like $58,000 a year.
Yeah.
You know, like, what did you do? Oh, I just like animated like all of the horse movements for everything in Red Dead 2, or you know, something crazy.
Well, and everybody's saying, you know, why don't these companies just hire, you know, the professionals from the mod community? Right. And maybe they're better off not hiring those people. Because those people are going to be more successful continuing to like support the mod community and building their own business, their own like indie company or whatever.
Right.
Like if you're like one of these like, you know, Bethesda game modders that's been doing this shit since, you know, Morrowind. Yeah. Like, maybe you should not go work for Bethesda because they're probably not going to treat you, you know, like you are the god that you are or whatever. Right.
And I mean, arguably too, I mean, to sort of bring in like kind of a rap world analogy to that is a really good modder is kind of like a really talented sort of like battle rap artist.
Yeah, I figured that's where you're going.
Yeah, like you might be really good. Like you might just be able to go round for round and pound for pound in like a battle setup. But if somebody gave you a record deal and was like, actually make a 15-track record. Yeah,
because it's freestyling versus coloring in the lines.
Right.
And you work for a big company, no matter what it is.
Yeah.
You're coloring within the lines.
Yeah. You have to create narrative. And like a record needs to have like some flow to it.
You often have to create narrative based on somebody else's demands or parameters.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I would almost say,
like working on the free market there, like the literally free market,
right?
Where there's no incentive to do it because you're not getting paid,
right?
But you can be as creative as you want, take as long as you want, and get as wacky and weird as you want,
right?
I mean, I don't have to tell anybody watching this, like, or tell you, but there are some incredible human beings out there in the mod community, like doing unpaid work for like 30 to 40 hours a week plus.
Oh yeah.
You know, people that have been building these games that usually get shut down, you know, the remasters of old titles.
Oh, yeah.
They put all their money into it.
Yep.
And they'll never see a payoff from it except being part of that community. And like props to them, like the fucking martyrs out there.
Yeah.
I tried to make some mods for Zoo Tycoon 2 back in the early 2000s.
Whoa.
I tried to make some special animals, as I called them. Like zebras combined with pigs and stuff, and it never worked out.
That did not work out?
I think I made some shitty textures for San Andreas at one point.
Yeah.
Trying to, like, pimp out my scooter.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like, props to all those people.
Yeah. I mean, you're clearly, I mean, that's the thing. At that point, you're doing it for the love of the game to some degree.
Yeah.
You're doing it because you obviously have, like, some technical proficiency in the medium.
Mm-hmm.
But I think there's also, and this is another reason why I don't think, like, a community, like, or getting a team of modders together to then create something, because part of modding is, like, anti-establishment.
Yeah.
Like, there's kind of, like you said it earlier, like, there's this, like, joy to the idea of, like, being 150 feet tall in Skyrim, and then the ground is littered with, like, as many horses or mud crabs as your processor can handle before your computer just, like, shits its pants because you can.
Right.
But, like, it's clearly, like, not what Bethesda ever, like, intended.
But I mean, on the flip side, there are a lot of modders that make very, very serious content.
Oh, that's
They create better storylines and often have better voice acting. I've seen mods where a modder has hired 60 plus voice actors.
Yeah.
Of course, all unpaid people that, like, read hundreds of hours of, like, lines of dialogue.
Right.
That, some dudes in a basement or a garage wrote.
Right.
That somehow is better than, a lot of these games that huge companies, spend 4 or 5 years producing.
Right.
And all these guys that are, like, recreating or remastering games.
Yeah.
There's still people working on, porting, like, Morrowind into the Skyrim engine. And,
right. Well, it's like they had,
remastering Grand Theft Auto 3 with the, the GTA 5, like, Rage engine. And
yeah. I mean, they put up.
They often make better content, but it gets shot down.
Yeah.
Or it doesn't get the funding.
Yeah. I mean, somebody didn't, like, a few years ago, they just, like, put up Vanilla WoW back on, like, somebody went through and just, like, which is funny because I just saw a thing that, like, Vanilla WoW was, like, coming back up.
Oh.
Like, but through, I mean, I guess it's EA now, right? EA owns.
Oh, do they?
Blizzard? I think so.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, this October. Maybe I should, like, finally embrace my, like. Okay, fair enough.
Fuck with that shit.
Yeah. It is funny that, like, yeah, I mean, everybody is. You're either, like, in it or it's, like, treated like trying heroin.
Yeah.
Where it's like, no, man, not even once.
Right.
Not even once.
Yeah, no, dude. I played a little bit of MMOs. I've, like, dabbled, but I've never, like, gotten super serious about it.
Yeah. I mean, I had roommates who played at a point, and they had me create a character, and I, like, ran around. I probably would have gotten more into it if I wasn't, like, sitting in my roommate's room playing with him, over my shoulder, like, telling me what's up and, like, what I needed to do. I also I'm at the age now where, like, that's a commitment that I'm not A, willing to make, and B, like, you almost have to, like, let go of something to, like, immerse yourself, like, where you really want to, like, oh, I am a dark elf who wants to go,
I can't, like, tune out or turn off enough for that, or tune in, whatever.
Yeah. Exit from enough from
I was
one
big
part
into, like, actual, like, role playing.
Right.
When I was younger, I would do, like, text-based role playing.
Yeah.
But I don't think I ever really got into that too much with video games. I don't play well with others.
Yeah.
I really don't. I tried out that Star Wars MMO, which I'm surprised, is it even still going? I'm surprised it went on as long as it did. After Galaxy shut down, they started Star Wars The Old Republic. In, like, 2011.
Yeah.
I played that for a little over a year.
Yeah.
From, like, beta through, like, the first, like, season or two of it. Up until it became this, like, serious, like, fucking not even pay to win, but pay to sprint. Jesus. You had to pay money like, because they made it, well, it's ironic because they made it free to play because everybody complained. It was a subscription-based game, $15 a month, standard shit.
Right.
They made it free to play, but with, like, heavy parentheses around that.
Right.
You know, like a big asterisk.
Yeah.
Like, you had to buy cartel coins, like in-game currency, to do anything, basically. Jesus. Or you had to subscribe to, like, be able to, like, sprint or use a lightsaber of this color or variety. Like, so if you played the free version of the game, it's basically just like a walking simulator.
Oh.
You could do quests, but you couldn't do, like, the cool quests with all your bros, you know?
Yeah.
Unless you give us $5.99 right now, and then you can do half an hour of this and that. It was turned into total garbage.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't great to begin with. And like I said, I don't play well with others.
Right.
I'm always a guy to get kicked out of, like, a group or a clan or whatever as soon as I'm accepted because I get, like, bored.
Yeah. Are you, like, trying to Leroy Jenkins your way into things?
Yeah. Like, I don't remember what the term they use in MMOs, but, like, when you, like, attract, like, a mob by getting too close to them.
Aggro?
Yeah, like when you aggro some people or, something.
I mean, like I think that is the, like, the WoW term because you basically, you have, like, a weird hitbox around you.
I can't play a game for, like, 10 hours straight.
Right.
And, like, sometimes I'm like, look, I got, like, an hour before I have to go to work or school or whatever it was. Like, take a dump and let's get this fucking mission over with.
Yeah, they
want to go to the 6-hour route and all that shit. So.
What is the last game that you can say you sat down and just, like, really, like, put a lot of time into? Like, in one sitting where you turned it on and then you're like, why is it 3 a.m?
A little bit. I did that for a little while with Red Dead, but probably right before that, I got back into Minecraft. I get back into Minecraft maybe, like, once a year.
Yeah.
And it's like a weird drug binge.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, I'm off the Minecraft for, a year, almost a year, and I'm like, fuck that shit. That's terrible for you. And then I'll get sucked back into it and play it casually for the first couple days, and then suddenly get, like, just fucking, like, like all the way in. Yep. Like, oh, man. And I'll stay up.
Sending somebody from work over to check on you, like a wellness check kind of thing. Yeah.
I've definitely, like, there have been times in my life where I've, like, skipped classes or skipped a shift at work to, like, play Minecraft.
Yeah.
Not recently, but I get into those binges about once a year or so, and I'll sit there and I don't even know what the fuck's going on around me.
Right.
I'm just, like, harvesting hundreds of trees. And I don't play Minecraft online. I never have. I've never had any interest in that. I don't even do, like, the storyline. Like, there's a storyline about, like, a dragon and going in through portals into the netherworld.
No idea.
And, you're Mr. YouTube. I watch all the games on YouTube. I'm glad you haven't watched a lot of that stuff. Cause
Minecraft always just seemed so... but, I mean, I am not a, like... Minecraft to me seems like it's... I don't want to say there's, like, 2 routes with it.
I think there are more than 2 routes with it. That's kind of where I was going with this. Like, everybody has something, like, different that they get out of it.
Yeah.
Like, there are people that use it for, like, experimentation and, like, physics stuff and, like, building and, like, they build, like, these learning machines or computers within the game.
And that's the stuff that I'm fascinated by.
Stuff's cool.
Like, which I see it on Reddit where I'm just like, what the fuck?
But then there are other people who do it just for, like, the online, where they, like, recreate other games. Like, they do, like, a Hunger Games or Battle Royale kind of thing, competitions.
Yeah.
Or, like, people are all about the magic. Or, like, the group builds where they recreate all of... Harry Potter world or Game of Thrones.
I've definitely seen those as well, where it's like King's Landing. I built it in Minecraft.
For me, it's like most survival games. Like, I'm focused on, like, hardcore survival and, like, building, like, my town or my house or whatever with, very limited resources.
Yeah.
Because I don't know why I'm talking about Minecraft. There's, like, a creative mode where you can just place any block that you want.
Okay.
And then in the survival mode, you actually have to harvest that stuff.
Right.
So if I'm building my castle, it's a very slow process. Me and a roommate built this. we actually terraformed an entire fucking portion of this map over the course of like 2 years and built like a castle and all these grounds and bridges and stuff.
Jesus.
But it could be all over in a heartbeat. Like if some like mob or enemy gets in there and like blows up the bridge, like we got to start over. Or
if you're online.
No, single player. If I leave a door open, like while we're playing, if we leave the door open, like we just did tradesies on the computer.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, but it's still, the bottom line to me is it feels like it's a resource management game.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I've never been huge on that.
Oh, okay.
Like the closest I come to like resource management is
what about like city builders? No,
not really. Like I mean, I remember playing like
SimCity.
Mm-hmm. You know, I've definitely, but I never Sims'd it. Mm-hmm. Like SimCity, I would play.
Those are the crack games to me, like building games, resource management. I guess go back to your question about the last game that like I just, wasted entire nights on was Anno 2077, city building game. And I spent like 2 weeks straight just trying to stop my city from being flooded with poo-poo. I couldn't keep the shit off the streets. And every penny I got, I would have to put towards, like building that levee up just a little bit more, tweaking the waterways.
Yeah, I get them. I mean, I get the like draw to them. I've just never. I think the closest for me were things like StarCraft.
Yeah.
Where it's like it's resource management, but there's also something else involved. Yeah. But it's like it's like a balancing resource management because you're also like there's combat and like strategy.
So that's, as much as it gets shit on, I think that's what I really liked about Fallout 4. Because they brought in the crafting element, like the building your base and everything.
Yep. Yeah.
Which most people, shit on nonstop. They hated it.
Right.
But I loved it, especially modded.
Right.
I ran that game with like 300 fucking mods, mostly like building and crafting related.
Right.
And it was the perfect balance.
Yeah.
Because I'd get all Minecraft out and like, eyes in the back of my head, like building, my palace and making sure every bottle of Nuka-Cola was lined up perfectly on the table and that, the bartender NPC was wearing the right costume and, slept in his appropriate bed,
Yeah.
And then I'd realize, like there's a whole wasteland and missions I need to get back to.
Right.
To get more money for this shit.
Yeah.
And then it would turn into, the shooter wasteland game.
Right.
Then I'd come back and organize magazines on a shelf, and yeah.
It's just like a far more exciting Second Life without interacting with fucking weirdos on Second Life.
Yeah. Yeah, fuck real people.
I mean,
yeah.
And that's, I'm not like an online player. That's like another thing that partly, like, I don't play enough. Like, I had Xbox Live for a moment, and I just had Xbox Live because fucking Microsoft at this point is just like, you just have to have it to play games. And I'm
right.
Like, you guys are assholes.
Like to download updates and stuff?
Oh, yeah, just to get shit. Yeah.
For like the Xbox One?
Yeah. Like the other day, I hadn't played, and I was like, what's Solid Snake up to? Let's go, try to fix 1980s Afghanistan and Phantom Pain. And I had disconnected my Xbox Live.
And it wouldn't let you.
And it was like, you need to download an update, but you need to like set up your Xbox Live. And I'm like, yeah, but I don't want to pay $10 a fucking month.
Yeah.
I don't even know if Phantom Pain is so like that's the funny part to me is it's not even like I was going on to play an online game.
There's an online mode.
Is there?
There's like a drop-in thing. That's pretty popular.
I do not understand the idea of playing a fucking Metal Gear game online.
Yeah.
Like, I love the shit out of Metal Gear.
A lot of games are doing that now, single-player games.
That makes no sense.
Where the multiplayer thing is like a drop-in thing. Like, I think in Metal Gear, it's like, another agent has appeared in your area. Take them down.
Right.
Like that hacker game did the same thing. Watch Dogs.
Watch Dogs, yeah.
And Lord of the Rings, they do that too.
Oh, do they?
Where it's like, I don't even know how to describe it.
I mean, I know that's how like Dark Souls.
But you just drop into some like a random instance, like somebody's single player game.
Yeah.
And it's basically like kill them and get them out of your game.
Yeah. I mean, and I know I didn't play Souls. As much as I want to be a Soulsborne player, I can't because I don't have the fucking patience and I have a job and responsibilities. But I know 1 and 2 were online. I think 3 you actually could just play like offline.
Right.
But I know 1 and 2 is one of those things where you could just be like standing there. You couldn't pause it. Like there's a screen that you could open, but if you were standing there like trying to figure your shit out, like there was the possibility that somebody could just come up and like murk the shit out of you and like run off like a fucking asshole. And that makes sense for a From Software game where they just want to infuriate you. But where was I going with this? I know that people have tried to capitalize on that with what is that fucking game? There's 2 of them. You're like the Division.
Oh yeah.
Where
that was almost fun.
Yeah, you're like some sort of special ops kind of person, but it's like after the sort of the collapse of civilization in Western America or the Western world. But you could have people on your team that were online, but then they could basically just like turncoat on you. Like they could be part of your squad. Like they could just show up and be like, "Yo, you want to like go?"
Yeah, so that element was really hyped in like the trailers and build up, like leading up to that game's release.
Yeah,
I didn't really see a lot of it when I played it.
Well, I know that basically the Division did not do well, and so all those servers were just like fucking ghost worlds after like the first week.
I played it for about 2 months or so.
Okay.
With a few buddies.
Yeah.
I don't even know. I didn't pick up on a lot. It was just like any other like light. It's like a light MMO.
Yeah.
Right, because the RPG elements aren't crazy. It's mostly just about like
you can like
a bunch of people being in the same world and like joining a quest together.
Yeah.
And it's just grinding. That's all I remember. Just like every one of those online games that's not like a first-person shooter. It's just fucking grinding.
Yeah.
We'd all go drop into this warehouse and we'd all shoot some dude with a flamethrower like 1,000 times. You know, somebody's throwing grenades at him, and the rest of us are just like boo, 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 boo.
Yeah.
You know, your medic is healing you. It's just the typical MMO experience.
Yeah.
And then what do we get out of it? Like, we each get like $100 and like a new like sniper scope.
Right.
And then on to the next mission that's exactly the fucking same. Then you unlock a new district where you do the same fucking shit.
Right.
And then I think there was like the dark world where like City Park is like it's always nighttime and watch out, like other online players aren't so friendly there. I think it was. I don't know why I'm going into this much detail.
No, it's
that's all there was to it. It's another game that I was surprised they made a sequel to.
Right.
And the sequel is getting slightly better reviews.
I mean, people say that. I mean, okay, so I will say this because we definitely have kind of shat on everything, and I feel like we, at least before this goes on too long, should like try to find some sort of silver lining. But I do appreciate it when it sounds like devs listen to what went wrong with certain things, and then they're like, "Can we fix it?" And then it turns out that they do kind of fix it, like. Once again, haven't played the Division 2. Probably will never play the Division 2 because I have to get an Xbox Live account for that. And at this point, whatever. I might as well just go buy Go or like a checkers board. But yeah, it sounds like they at least like took that under advisement as opposed to other games where it's that like everybody's just like fuck you, and they're like sorry, we'll do better next time, and then just like it's a fucking dumpster fire. So, okay, so I guess maybe like leading our way out of this, but like, what would be like what would be a good game in the future? Or is there anything that you're looking forward to, or is there any like way to, you know, maybe satisfy your thirst for?
I always want the same thing. I want a big, open sandbox, RPG, crafting elements, character customization, and vehicles, and base building, and diverse terrains. I mean, I've had the same game idea in my head since I was in fucking 2nd or 3rd grade. Like, it's what me and all the buddies wanted when we talk about video games on the playground.
Yeah.
Because we're all fucking nerds.
Yeah.
I want a game where you can travel seamlessly from planet to planet in your customized spaceship.
Right.
And you go around and collect and craft stuff and beat people up. And then you can, like, actually take off into, orbit and, FTL to the other solar system. And a couple games have tried that. Probably No Man's Sky comes to mind.
What about Star Citizen?
Star Citizen
not good?
Has been in production for way too long for me to have any faith in it.
Oh, it's still not out.
It has been in production since 2011, 2012, 2010. It's been in like an alpha mode for fucking ever, and they have a ton of funding, a ton of Kickstarter funding. It's in the millions, and they're doing cool stuff, but it's like once a year they release like a 20-minute video of like, here's this new feature, but it's never like, here's the whole package. There are a couple thousand people playing it in these alphas or betas, but it's so limited. Like, okay, now we have a city planet.
Yeah, so that's the thing. I saw this thing like a month ago, and I was like,
there's
that's
one
really
space
cool.
station you can visit, one planet with this terrain, like one instance where you can do this thing, but the whole bigger picture is what, unknown. 40 years away?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck.
The conceptually, that's pretty much what I want. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I did not.
I
thought it was out.
I want the big space RPG, but with the cool story too.
Right.
I love Bethesda, and I hope that whatever they put together with this, supposed space RPG is somewhat close to my childhood fantasy.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it's called. They announced it when they announced Elder Scrolls 6.
Oh my god! Wait, they're working on like. I had no idea.
They're working on multiple projects, yeah.
With the same fucking engine? Or are they... is Todd...
Supposedly, yeah.
Todd gonna get his shit together? And
supposedly the same engine. They'll all be next gen, and there's like a 2 to 4 year gap in between each release, with Elder Scrolls being the last release, so that's possibly like 2022, 2023 or later.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I kind of have to agree. Like, there's nothing else. Like, I'm too old. I mean, the last game that I really enjoyed and I spent like hours playing was Halo. Mm-hmm. Like the first and second one, because it was like space, but shooter, but adventure. Mm-hmm. But for the most part, like I love, sort of that fantasy RPG or like outer space RPG, and. Yeah, there's nothing out there that...
So my big takeaway from this video, because I felt like it was super cringy at first, is along the same lines as that. It's funny that neither of us are playing video games.
Right.
We're not daily gamers, weekly gamers, even monthly gamers.
Right.
Like I said, I just binge here and there.
Yeah.
I bought a PlayStation, and I have like 2 games on it.
Yeah.
In the past like 8 months.
Yeah.
I built I upgraded my gaming PC last year,
right?
And haven't played anything on it since.
Yeah,
I
mean, my wife plays more video games than I do.
But we both still are getting like all excited about it, and I can talk to somebody about video games all day long.
Yeah,
but there's nothing I want to play, so the bar is too high, and I'll never be satisfied. I'll just constantly be whining about video games. At some point, I'll maybe have not played a video game in 20 years, and I'll talk about the good old days, but...
Yeah. I mean, at this point, maybe I'll just go by...
I remember when Gary's mod was a Half-Life modification.
Yeah. I mean, shit. Maybe I should just go buy Master Chief Edition so I can just play Halo 1 and be happy. And, like, have that moment of being, like, 25 again and being like, oh, this is really good. This is like, I haven't played anything this good since like Half-Life.
Yep.
They're really good. Like, you guys did a good job.
Counter-Strike's the only real.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. And maybe that's what it is. Like, maybe it's, it's the same way people who grew up playing, I mean,
it's nostalgia.
At a certain point, like, Risk was, like, cutting edge.
Yeah.
And, like, when you look at things like the board games that people are creating today,
yeah,
it would hurt somebody's mind who was like, I just wanted to invade Australia.
Yeah.
I mean,
why do the pieces have to be upside down on the ceiling for us to play this game?
Oh, yeah. I mean, even on that Risk, there's like 8,000 iterations of it. Like Lord of the Rings Risk, like Zero Gravity Ender's Game Risk. Like, no,
Augmented reality Risk.
Yeah.
It's all through your smartphone app.
God. Well, yeah, I guess that's what we had to talk about. At first, I was like a little worried that we might not have something to talk about, and I mean,
there we go.
Clearly, turn this just into our new welcome to the Trashers Gaming Channel. Where oh man, what are we not playing this week that we want to talk about?
Well, Let's Plays here.
Yeah,
we don't even have any video game clips because we're gonna get copyrighted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm not about to pantomime.
I have to censor every time I say EA.
Yeah. Ooh, man. Yeah, we just owed somebody money probably. Yep. Anyway. Yeah. Once again, hope you guys are enjoying this. For those of you that are watching.
Yeah, watching or listening.
Yep.
Find us on Anchor, Spotify, and YouTube.
Apple.
All those things, and Instagram.
Yeah.
Wherever you happen upon us, we'll be grateful. Send us some likes and some clicks and comments and some DMs. Hit us up on Snapchat with those DPs.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah?
No, don't do that.
Okay, yeah. No, I was like, wait, what is that short for? Yeah, we don't. No, we don't want any of that.
But yeah, holler at us.
Yeah.
Yep.
You guys have a good week.
Yep. Peace.
Out.
Yep.